What up, though? Can you hear me now? No sound currently then. Can you hear me now? I can't hear. What about now? Can you hear me? Yes? Good, yes. How is the visual quality? How is the stream looking? Is it going pretty good, or is it kind of like messing up? Pixelated or anything like that? What up, though, Boog Spray? What up, though, Antoine? What up, though, C-Rad? Okay, yes, it is working right now. Oh my god, I spent hours on trying to get this set up to work. How is the view looking? Is it going pretty good, or is it like type thing? It's good so far. Oh man. Oh, I've spent the whole weekend so far trying to get this thing up. As we all know, 5 seconds behind, but that's fine. Yeah, that's totally fine right now. I'm fine with it being a little bit delayed. That's fine with me. I'm just trying to get back up because we all know what up, though, Gridiron Blitz. I have spent a lot of time trying to get this OBS set up in my new area. I've took an Ethernet core due to Gridiron Blitz helping me out, man. I ran it throughout the house. I spent probably 10 hours just trying to get this thing straight. You the man. Love the content. Man, thank you, man, Nicholas Aaron. Thank you, Joseph. I'm so happy that this thing is working out. I've spent a lot of time. As we all know, Google Hangouts is going away, and I just want to make sure that we're trying another program out called with the Detroit Sports Alliance, but I'm not 100% sure if it will work, so I wanted to create this specifically so that if it doesn't work, at least we got a substitute. Now, you guys, I would like to show you what the roundtable background would look like if the other program does not work. Are you guys ready to see what I made? Okay, here we go. So this is kind of what the background would look like. Right now, I could switch out any person. I can switch out, make the font size bigger. I can make everything better looking. And so that's kind of what I got with the round table. And this is what I got going on specifically as just me. What about the green screen? I do have my green screen. I have to make it right now. It's just a green screen. I got to be able to put frames around it and make it 100% solid looking. It's important to have the best qualities humanly possible. And I ran out of time today. I mean, it's literally 3:15. It's going to take probably another 6-7 hours just to make the green screen specifically to the way that I want it to be. And so all this stuff takes time. It's a very long process. I'm not tech savvy at all. So I've been spending a lot of time to get this thing correct. And I'm so happy right now that everything worked out. And I truly appreciate it. I don't know what happened last night, guys. Apparently, I was messing around with the computer and my live stream just went up and it just showed me dinking around on the internet. Folks, I deleted that video. That was definitely by mistake. And I don't know what happened there, man. I have no idea. I'm just really happy that it's showing up and it looks good. So what up, though, guys? I really appreciate you guys taking the time and viewing all my content. Well, everything's looking up good, so let's talk about Detroit Lions. What up, though, Boog Spray? What up, though, James Willis? I can see without having to squint. Oh, this took a long time. So let's talk Detroit Lions, fellas. Let's talk Detroit Lions. We are very close for the rookies to join into camp. Do you have your favorite? What's your favorite for right guard? My favorite guard right now, and again, I'm very biased in this because I like Beau Benchois a lot. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be ready, specifically. So, when it comes to my favorite, I like Beau Benchois, but for starting, it's got to be Terrell Crosby. In my opinion, he was a big-time pickup for us last year in the draft. We got him in the 5th round. I think Terrell Crosby is definitely going to be a tackle, right tackle, possible left tackle in the future. But for this year, I totally believe Terrell Crosby should fit in that guard spot. To me, he is far better than Wiggins. I think he's above Bo Benchua, myself, because Benchua is a rookie. And it's going to take time for a rookie. And what Quinn has done was magnificent. He drafted individuals last year to start this year. Terrell Crosby had a couple of starts due to TJ Lang going down via injury, so he has more experience when it comes to the NFL and understanding the speed of the game and everything that goes with it. So I would have to go with Terrell Crosby right now, and I totally want him starting. I don't want Wiggins starting. I don't know if Dahl is going to be that player for us, going down. And I think Terrell Crosby has more of an upside, more of a polished player, and he can block well. He can push the defensive linemen well, as we've seen with the minimum amount of starts he had last year when going in for injury for TJ Lang. He performed well, in my opinion. And to me, he progressed enough for me to throw him in the guard spot this year, give him experience. The next year, take over one of the spots that needs to be taken over. So, that's what I want to go on. Agreed, Joseph. He says, let me go up a little bit more. I'd like to see Crosby myself. Thank you, James Wills. I do too. That was the worst typo ever. I do it all the time, man. I do it 24/7. Agreed. No mention of Dahl. Thought again, when it comes to Joe Dahl, I don't know if he's going to take that next step. He has progressed in OTAs, apparently due to his physique, and he trained hard. So if he got it over Terrell Crosby, I don't think it'd be a negative on Crosby. It'd be a positive with Dahl, and that's nothing but good, in my opinion. That's something that we'd like to see. I just think Crosby has that higher ceiling, and knowing the fact that to me he's going to take over Wagner's spot next year, to throw him in the mix now would give him a lot more NFL experience to take it to that next level when you're dealing with defensive ends in the NFL. Agreed. Oh, sorry. Our O-line has a lot to prove. You are 100% right, Ghost Gunner. Our O-line has a lot to prove. To me, it's our weakest link when it comes to the positions we have on our team. Right now, we know what we got with our running game. We know what we got with our quarterback, Matthew Stafford. We know what we got with our wide receivers, and our tight end group looks really, really awesome this year. We know what we got with our defense when it comes to defensive line, as long as Snacks shows up. With our linebackers, a little bit more to prove as well. However, we know what we got with our secondary. And so when it comes to the offensive line, that is the question mark. And sadly, that's a question mark we don't want to have. Unfortunately, we do. And so what I want to see in camp, and when I go to training camp to view the offensive line, I'm really going to take a big watch into that. That's something that's probably the most important position right now we need to worry about, because if the offensive line does not perform well, Matthew Stafford is not going to have that extra time to get the ball out. The wide receivers, then it affects their separation and the whole team. So I really want to see the progression of the offensive line and see how these guys do, and hopefully they can take it to that next level. Terrell Crosby could show up, or Dahl perform well. So that'd be great for us. What up, Doe 1991? What up, Doe Nicholas Aaron? Let's see. With Ragnow at center, it changes the vibe for the offensive line, and we're holes open up. Absolutely, James Willis. You make a fantastic point. Again, with Frank Ragnow, definitely could help out that guard position as well. With him, his strength is so much on this team. He's probably the best offensive lineman on the team, period. Now he will have the ability to help out Matthew Stafford, understand what the defense are doing, give him little hints that help out. And with him in the middle and so strong when it comes to blocking, and that will help out the guards, both right and left. And that eventually will help out the whole offensive line. Now, I think the number one factor when it comes to the offensive line is continuity. We need to have continuity. We need to have these guys play together long enough and understand each other. That is so important. If you have injuries all the time, man, that really hurts the continuity of the offensive line. That really hurts everything about it. And unfortunately, that is something we don't know. It's a big question mark. But again, when it comes to injury, question mark is throughout the whole team. So hopefully we can knock on wood. Injuries are far and few. Not a whole lot we see. And that would really, really help out our whole team, fellas. Our whole team. C-Rad TV, I want to say big shout out to C-Rad. He went crazy on a YouTuber. Him and Ace Taker, man, a big shout out to Ace Taker. He is back in the game. Those guys run the Outsiders. If you ain't subscribed to the Ace Taker or C-Rad, go ahead and do that. They are kind of like the DVE and a DSA in a form that they're trying to bring a different view of Detroit sports, and I always support all Detroit sports YouTubers. I don't care if we're trying to do getting views, this, that, and the other. We're all here going against the mainstream media. So if you ain't subscribed to Ace Taker, do so. He is a legend. If you ain't subscribed to C-Rad TV, he does Lions, Red Wings, he does everything. So make sure you hit them up. He says, I'll be watching the O-line throughout the preseason. It's the big question mark through C-Rad. Absolutely, I will too. No doubt about it. I think Bevel will boost the offensive line. Absolutely. You make a great point there. Can anyone listen? Just him alone, its scheme does matter. When we had Linehan, the offensive line had mixed bags initially throughout the first, I think, years or so via Linehan. The offensive line performed better, and once the scheme, though, was figured out, it started to crumble a little bit. So when it comes to KFC, I believe having Darrell Bevell in there, having a offensive coordinator that can scheme well when it comes to the offensive line is very important. KFC was terrible when it comes to making plays. So in my opinion, I guarantee you he was terrible when it comes to offensive line schemes. So simply having him in there will definitely boost up, and I think will help out for sure. I believe if we could just have a top 15 offensive line, just mid, that will make Matthew Stafford so much better than what he was, and bring up the whole offense as a whole. Our offensive line was so bad the last couple of years that it really affected our offense. I think adding Darrell Bevell will bring the points up alone without even having specific players in there. So hopefully we watch through the preseason, the development of the offensive line. To me, that is probably the number one thing we need to look at through training camp, through preseason, and through the season is the offensive line. To me, it's bar none the most important. O-line definitely the biggest worry. Absolutely, Book Spray, 100%. Gentlemen. J3rd is in the building. What's up, though, J3rd? Folks, this is my new stream when I do myself. I will show you again if you haven't seen it. We are... Again, when it comes to Google Hangouts, it is going away. I wanted to have a backup screen, live stream for you guys, just in case the program that we are working on, there is another program that we're hopefully will utilize instead of what I built. But I built, make sure it's for a backup, because simply, you know how tech works. So, folks, here is what the round table would look like if the program that we want to utilize instead of Hangouts does not work. This is what I built. Now, I'm changing it right now. So, obviously, I got to change the font because the font is not that well. And so, all I got to do is mess with the font a little bit. So, this is what the round table would look like if, folks, if the program that we are working on does not work. Hopefully, it works, though, and we don't have to use this. So, hopefully, you guys like it and kind of see that obviously my chat looks a lot better now, and I would have to mess with the chat then specifically when it comes to the round table. But it would give everyone a picture of their view. I can always modify their pictures and make it look a little bit better and a little bit cooler. But I thought this for myself would really help out and help give a better look and a more professional view for you guys. Thank you, C-Rad. Hey, that's what it's all about. I can always add pictures on there and mess around with it. It takes a long time for me to do this stuff, and so I'm not tech savvy, like I've said a million times. So I'm very happy that it's working out right now. And it's not messing up. I'm very happy about that. Folks, is there anything about Detroit Lions you'd like to talk about? Specific issues? What is Who is your favorite player on the team? It could be offense, defense, special teams. I would love to know. My favorite player, I think I've said it, is Diggs. Man, I love that hard hitting safety. I love players that hit hard, punch people in the mouth, and give offenses something to worry about, folks. That's what I like to see. And Quandre Diggs is my favorite player. He has the instincts. He has the punch you in the mouth ability. He has something that brings to the table like Ndamukong Suh did, where teams feared Ndamukong Suh. Teams will fear Diggs. I think he's that well versed on the defense. My dark horse is Ty Johnson via James Willis. Oh man, I James, I'm with you, man. I cannot wait to see this guy play. His speed is so remarkably fast, and I can't wait to see it. He may become one of my favorite players if he pans out and is utilized a lot in special teams and used on the offense. Man, I think he definitely could be an awesome player for us to watch. And if he pans out, he definitely will be a beloved player in Detroit. What do you expect out of Matt Patricia year 2 from Can Anyone Listen? What up, though, Can Anyone Listen? I expect Matt Patricia to take this team to the playoffs. I expect high-quality coaching game time. I expect he will give Darrell Bevell the reins to the offense. I think Darrell Bevell will have all the play calling abilities. So he does not have to then worry about the offense. I think when it comes to Matt Patricia, him and Pasqualoni will be doing the defense at the same time. He will give reins more to Pasqualoni, though. But since he is a defensive-minded coach, he then will put his input in there. And his in-game time coaching decisions when it comes to timeouts, when it comes to throwing a flag, when it comes to teaching the players about what possibility will go on during game time will exceedingly rise from what it was last year, folks. He was a rookie last year. He had an offensive coordinator who was inept. He had so many variables that didn't help out with helping the players learn the scheme on defense. Now, the players already know the scheme on defense. He doesn't have to worry about that. And Darrell Bevell is a very minded offensive coordinator. His mind is very high. He's been through it when it comes to the playoffs. He's been through it when it comes to the Super Bowl. So I think his game time preparation, his game time ability was completely rise above what it was last year, and he will take us to the playoffs and will win the NFC North. I can't wait to see Hawkinson play. C-Rad TV. Oh, hockey play. Absolutely, man. I cannot wait for Hawkinson to get in there, make those catches. I want to see how Matthew Stafford and him interact, how they can mesh together. I'm so excited for that as well. I love Hawkinson. He's a blue chip tight end. I can't wait for it as well. What up, though, Jay? What up, though, Jay White? Hey, this is the new look, man. So I got everything and completely hooked up. Everything is working good. It took a long time to get to this position. I'm very happy. I hope you like it. Favorite player is Diggs, Galladay, and Hawkinson. Oh, yeah, man. Diggs, my man as well. Hawkinson, he is going to be a beast for years to come. And Galladay, the guy is going to be a great wide receiver for us, folks. I can't wait for the separation he's going to have now with these tight ends intermixed, and it's going to make our team so much better, especially on offense. Joseph Vaughn. James Willis, yes sir. Kenny Galladay, my favorite. He exploded last year and pumped to see him do even more this year. True, absolutely. And with these weapons surrounding him when it comes to C.J. Anderson, utilize Kerryon Johnson more, and the tight ends, oh my God, he is going to explode. In my opinion, he very much well could go to the Pro Bowl. Patricia will handle linebackers. I think that position is Patricia's favorite. That is a good point. Seems to be his favorite position. And especially when you've got a young man like Tavai in there. So I can see him coaching him a lot, especially up during the game and throughout the season. You'll see him in the ears of Tavai as well as linebackers. That is a fantastic point. What up, Doe Vash? Just popping to say hello. I'm out and about today outside, especially around the football myself. Hey, man, it is a great day outside. Make sure you all spend it outside and have a good time. I'm just excited because I finally got this thing up. I finally got it up. It's been a long time me working on it, and it's finally good to go. Boog Spray, I like Kenny G. He's like watching the offensive and defensive players in one play. He is, man. The dude has that ability like Calvin Johnson did when he would jump up and catch the ball and just snatch it out of defenders' hands. He does have the ability, and that's what makes him takes his wide receiver up a notch over other wide receivers. He has that jumping ability. He jumps perfectly at time when he knows the ball is going to get there. He beats his defenders. He's stronger than them. He takes the ball. So Matthew Stafford can throw those contested passes like he used to do with Matthew Stafford and believe that he'll catch it. And it really helps us out. Doesn't Kenji remind you of Randy Moss, Kenny Galladay? He reminds me of Randy Moss when it comes to his contested catches. But I think he's a little bit bigger and stronger than Randy Moss. He has more of a bigger frame than him. He's not as big as Calvin Johnson when it comes to frame. So when it comes to frame size, it's like an intermix of Calvin Johnson, a little lower but a little higher than Randy Moss. Randy Moss had that, he liked to give people some shit issues. You know how Randy Moss would like moon the players and stuff like that. I think it was against the Green Bay Packers, if I'm not correct. He had that more that attitude. Kenny Galladay has more of the I'm confident myself, and I don't need to give people shit. I don't need to give people issues. I'm gonna just show you that I'm strong and I'm better than you. I think Tavai will become a fan favorite. I hope so, James Willis. I hope so. He was a high second-round pick, man, so we want this guy to play out. And what I like about him is he's got that Samoan attitude, man, kind of like The Rock. And so I like that Samoan attitude, that Samoan strength, and have that ability to just push people around and hurt them. So hopefully he brings that to that defense, and he brings up to what he can take to our linebacking core. Jared Davis gonna be our Khalil Mack double-digit sacks flight. I hope so. Because if James Davis, or if Gerard Davis can come and become a Khalil Mack status, my God, folks, this defense will be insane. I don't know if he'll ever get there. Khalil Mack is an elite talent. If he can get close to it, I would be happy as all can be. Tavai worries me. He has been called versatile, but he is really good at one thing. Tape shows he has lots of arm tackling, but good pursuit of angles. Well, you got to understand, too, he has giant size. And so size is something that you can't really rate. It's a tangible issue when it comes to a player that he can block tight ends. To me, what I think we got him for is the tight end blocking, and that's something that we had issues on for years. And so hopefully with his size of 6'2" and his built like a brick status, that he can block those tight ends and he can defeat them in matches. Because we do have issues when it comes to blocking tight ends. We had mismatches, and so hopefully he can correct that and really bring that to the team. He can rush the passer as well. So that's something that we will see. What is good buffed up? Buddy, I know that you like to give us Lions fans some hell, but man, you are here every single time. You're always in the chat, and I got nothing but love for you, man. Got nothing but love for buffed up. He is an individual that likes to give us hell, but not too much hell, not be disrespectful. He's cool like that. Can anyone listen? Will Patricia unleash TJ Hawkinson or keep him leashed? No. Can anyone listen? He is going to be unleashed. TJ Hawkinson is going to be unleashed. He is going to be a bad, bad boy for this team, folks. He is instantly, in my opinion, he's instantly going to be a Pro Bowl tight end. Folks, I've been talking about this for a long time. He is a blue chip player. If you do fantasy football, make sure you draft TJ Hawkinson, especially if you're in leagues where there's other fans in other teams. It's not just a Detroit Lions league. You can get him probably in the 6th round. No one will know. they will think it's an overdraft, but in my opinion, that will be an underdraft. He will be a player that will give you top 5 tight end fantasy points. Folks, when you think of, I do fantasy a lot. I always get the playoffs and the championship game. What is the difference between a team and a team that you have and a team that other teams have is the tight end position. Because there is usually just a handful of tight ends that will get you mad points, whether it be Gronkowski, but he's not in the league anymore. When it comes to the tight end from the Panthers, he always helps out due to injury. If you can get a top flight tight end, do so. TJ Hawkinson will be one of those guys. What up, though, Chris? Feel like CJ and TJ gonna take a lot of red zone touchdowns. I'm with you, Buffed Up, especially when you think if you want to do fantasy and you're not a Lions fan. Again, this is something that you can come to my channel as well. I do talk fantasy football, and as soon as we really start to get into it into training camp, I'm going to do a fantasy football day, specifically talking about every single player in the NFL when it comes to fantasy, because I love fantasy football. I play it every year. I do cash league every single time, and usually, again, there's only been one time that I have never been to the playoffs, so I'm pretty good when it comes to insight on players. I go through the offensive line schemes when it comes to running backs. I talk about players who could be players you can pick up if you did not draft well, if you can get them in a pickup league. If you're doing different type of leagues, I can tell you what players to get. Angles come in handy when you're bigger, absolutely. Feel like Hawkinson should flourish under Bevel. You're 100% right. If I was the Bears, I'd pay close attention to him. This kind of going to be a flying across the line, leading them back in the D-line, them opening up. Huge pass for the backs. Absolutely. And when it comes to the defensive line, you got to think, when it comes to our linebackers, what's the most important thing to help a linebacker out? That's the defensive line. We have a very, very good defensive line. Sean Hand will definitely take that next step this year, and he took a great step last year. He is a Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl defensive end, hybrid defensive tackle for sure. We got Flowers, who's really can play inside and outside. Obviously, we've got Snacks Harrison. Folks, they do got to pay attention to our linebackers in that sense. Buffed Up says, would you take Gurley in round 1? He looks horrible. End of last year. It depends where you're talking round 1. If you're talking with the first overall pick, no. Do not take Todd Gurley in the first overall pick. If you're in a 12-man league and he's still there 6 or I would even say 5, 6, or 7, I would take him there, though, because he is a dynamic player. But you do got to worry about his injury history. You do got to worry about it. To me, if you're going to go with a running back, obviously first round is usually running backs anyways, and I would suggest always take a running back. Go with Ezekiel Elliott. He will be a surefire running back. Go also with the Giants running back. Man, he is going to be a beast. If you can get Kerryon Johnson to mid of the rounds, even if he's still available there late round, first round, I think I would pick him up as well. Late round running backs, folks, that I took last year was Adrian Peterson. He gave me a ton of fantasy points for the Redskins. I don't know what he turned those gears on. Will he do that again this year? I don't know. Again, he's another year older, so maybe I got him as a free agent. Or no, sorry, I drafted him in the 6th round. I thought, okay, maybe he can give me something, and he did. Folks, Kerryon Johnson for the Lions. It's always worrisome to pick a Lions player up, especially the last couple of years when it comes to fantasy. But players I would suggest would take Kerryon Johnson. I would suggest take Kenny Galladay and T.J. Hawkinson, Matthew Stafford. If you're gonna go quarterback, you want to wait till later. If you can get a Patrick Mahomes, I got Patrick Mahomes. If you can get a Patrick Mahomes, do that. If you can get a Drew Brees, do that. I think they're going to have really, really good years. Matthew Stafford's always a surefire when it comes to injury. He's never injured. So that would be a good quarterback if you can get in the later rounds for sure. I've been looking at good fantasy leagues. What up, Doe Marcus Willis? Man, what up, Doe? This defense could win this. us the Central Division. This defense I think will help us win the NFC North for sure. We are going to win the NFC North for first time in 20 years. It's going to be exciting. I think we will host a playoff game for sure. And us hosting a playoff game, I think we win it. I think we win it. Now the question will be, do we get a bye week? I don't know about that. I think there's a lot of very strong NFC teams as well. I will not go on the fact that we take a bye week. I do say we host a playoff game and we win that playoff game. We had a D-line like Chicago, and you'll need to watch. San Fran ran all over them using the tight ends, open them lanes. Chris, you make a great point. Understand when it comes to Chicago Bears, they were 12-4 last year. They did great, but their scheme was new. They had new coaching staff. Took a while for teams to understand how they were going to play. At the end of the year, they were starting to get beat up a little bit. They were starting to come down to earth, even though they still made the playoffs. Their points went down a little bit, and they lost in the playoffs. So, folks, I think they come down to earth more, and they're a 9-win team, the Chicago Bears. I think that's in my opinion. I think they're a 9-win team, and y'all can hold me to it by the end of the year. Saquon Barkley is the number one running back buffed up. Yeah, if you're going to go running backs, it's going to be Elliott and Saquon, 1 or 2. Kind of just depends on. When you think of the Dallas Cowboys, they have a better passing game, okay? Because when they got Cooper, that really opened up the passing game, but that also opened up the running game. When you got to think about the New York Giants, when you're taking number one, you got to put a lot of factors into there. When you think the New York Giants, they got Golden Tate. They do not have their elite wide receiver that they traded to the Cleveland Browns. And so you got to put that into factor. So do you trust more the opening up of Eli Manning, or do you trust more of Dak Prescott and Cooper? I would lean towards Dak Prescott, Cooper, and Elliott. So if I had the number one pick, I'd take Ezekiel Elliott. If I had the number 2 pick, I'd definitely be taking Saquon Barkley. We need to be healthy coming out of training camp. Absolutely, that's the number one. Marcus Willis makes a fantastic point. That is the number one goal, no matter what, is to be healthy. Absolutely, bar none. Number one goal is to be healthy. What up, though? Sip Troy. I don't know if I even say your name right. Will contact affect Darius Slay play? Will contact standoff affect? I think when it comes to Darius Slay, his play will be affected if he really buys into the system. If he buys into the system, his play will go up. If he has the attitude kind of like he did last year and how he's done in the offseason, I think his play will definitely get affected. Just that alone. Period. Thinking about Oakland rookie running back, they have no backup running back. If you're going to take a rookie running back, especially from Oakland, do it super late round or pick him up in a free agent. Gridiron Blitz, 11 days, gentlemen. He is 100% right. Derek P. Fields, the great one, the Gridiron Blitz. First off, folks, I want to say a big thank you to Gridiron Blitz for helping me up with the setup. I've been talking to him a lot to do what I can to get this thing rolling right, because he has a great setup going, and without his help, I would not be here. And I cannot wait. 11 days, man. 11 days, folks. And we're going to be up and running. I'm going to go down to Detroit. I will live stream some of this stuff. I can't wait. If you guys, when I tell you the dates, I'm there. If you want to come up, if you live in the Detroit area, do so, man. We can have a great time. I'll interview you. We'll live stream. We'll hang out. Maybe go to a restaurant and get a beer or something. What you think about Bell this season? Bell. Okay. The Jets, Bell. He would be a good pickup as well. I think when it comes to their quarterback, their offense will get better than was last year. Their quarterback's not bad. I believe that if you can get Bell with the 4th, 5th, or 6th pick, that would be good. Again, he was off last year. But, again, Bell was a great pick. Another running back to think about is Connor from the Steelers. Take Connor, too, as well. He performed very well last year. Now, when it comes to the Steelers, they have less issues going on. Connor would be a great back to get. Let's see. Philly used the same concept, less tools. We now and owned them. Eagles are tight ends. That Philadelphia game is going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be tough. It depends how Carson Wentz is. Again, we're not playing Nick Foles. Nick Foles seemed to elevated that whole team. Maybe Carson Wentz does it, and he ends up blowing up and sucking, and we could win that game. It's going to be a tough game, though. I think JMO has us losing it. I have us. It's going to come down to the last play. That's what I got it going on there. I see a couple of dings here and there, but hopefully we'll be at least 95% healthy. Absolutely, man. And again, it's okay to have dings because Bob Quinn, Matt Patricia made this depth so much better. So much better. But when you start dropping big-time players, like if a Stafford got injury, that's going to hurt us. But if we have dings here and there, a player misses a game here and there, no big deal. If Kerryon missed a game, it's okay. We got C.J. Anderson. We got Zach Center. If C.J. Anderson missed a game, it's okay. We got Kerryon Johnson. Even if Galladay missed a game, we got so many tight ends. So a miss here and there is not a big deal. A long-term injury is a big deal. So hopefully that stuff don't happen. But the least amount of injuries is the best possible outcome. Period. Yeah, a casual meet and greet would be really cool. Absolutely, man. Hey, bar none, I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan. I love Lions fans. I want to interview the players. Hopefully we can get a press pass for the Detroit Sports Alliance and start meeting some players. That would be really epic. Absolutely, man. Just meet up, hang out. We're all Lions fans together. We're all one pride. I just so happened to do YouTube. I seen what the mainstream media was doing. It really pissed me off. So I decided to create this account to give you my thoughts on the Lions and kind of destroy that mainstream narrative with like Carlos Manure and Freep and everyone, man. Those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about, and it's frustrating. PJ Johnson going to be a sleeper. That's one of my sleepers as well. I think initially though, especially if we pick up another defensive tackle, he may be on the practice squad. But you got to remember, folks. You got to remember that that's not a bad thing at all. We develop players in the practice squad, so he definitely could be a sleeper. Starts the practice squad, gets sent up to the 53 man, and he definitely, especially if you think about not just this year but next year, how we develop rookies, he could definitely develop in a year or two, like a Snacks Harrison, man. And if he can do that, sky's the limit. And we're constantly picking up players in the draft, whether it be 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and we're developing them. We're picking up free agent rookies like Bo Benshaw. It's just amazing. So if you can constantly develop these players, sky's the limit. Sky is the limit, and our team is going to be a contender year after year after year. We don't have to sign these giant contracts to players on our team that are veterans. We can simply draft a new player, just like the Patriots been doing. That's how you do it. PJ Johnson, PFF grades last year was 84. Again, when it comes to ratings, when it comes to PFF, now, I don't want to destroy just PFF or anyone else, because to me, when I look at grades, when I look at Sports Center grades, when I look at other outlets, ESPN, PFF, I look at it as a political poll, right? You got these polls that says, okay, the president's here, the president's there, but you got different polls. You got CNN polls, you got Fox News polls, you got all different polls. And so you don't look at one, you always look at the median. So when it comes to PFF, when it comes to ESPN, when it comes to Sports Center, when it comes to NFL.com, when it comes to all these polls, I don't just pick one out, I use the median, and to me that's the best. It's always in the middle somewhere, because there's different variables you got to look at that are also as well not in polls. How is the individual learn the system fast? Does he learn it fast? Does he learn it slow? How is his intangibles on and off the field? Is he a good guy, period? Is he a real D-bag where he's making, he's doing stupid stuff, hitting people, getting in fights, a Des Bryant type player? So there's so many variables that go into it. And so we put all those together and kind of give you a grade in that sense. I think Lions cheap looking at DK Pico is better one. Yeah, they keep looking at him, and they haven't signed him yet, so maybe Pico is wanting to get a bigger contract, and the Lions just say, we'll just wait on it. To me, in my opinion, waiting on is the best deal. It's so important to get a specific contract that is good to your team. What Quinn has done is financially saved the Lions. When you looked at Mayhew, we were in cap hell. We couldn't keep players, right? Bob Quinn has made contracts very well for the team. I mean, for the free agents, we got Marvin Jones, we got Wagner, we got, with all the free agents, he's hit on most of them. You can say, well, has Wagner lived up to his contract? Maybe not, but has everybody else? Absolutely. Teams blow up and screw up a lot on cap and free agency. And so he has done a phenomenal job, maybe the best in the NFL when it comes to restructuring the cap. We're literally I think the 9th best cap team in the NFL right now, and look at our free agency. Look at how great it was. We picked up big time players. So Bob Quinn, man, my God, he's done such a great job at that cap, and waiting with Pico is perfectly fine to me. Perfectly fine. Okay, so let's see. How are we on our cap? Okay, I just said that we're 9th. We are 9th, I believe, right now, currently in the NFL, 9th best. And again, with all the free agents we picked up, that's absolutely fabulous. Just insane fabulous. Great job, Bob Quinn. James Willis doesn't seem to bother Snacks. Okay, can the Lions defend the den when Matty Mahomes comes into town? Patrick Mahomes comes into town. That's going to be a big game. I do believe we do decent on defense, folks. But if it came down to a blowout, top-scoring game, a 45-43, don't hate on the defense, folks. Patrick Mahomes is a damn good quarterback. They have a good offense, especially in the regular season. So, folks, if our defense gets lit up a little bit, don't get upset about that. You're going to have elite teams that are going to do that. There's going to be games this year that's going to happen, and that's okay, because of course I do not want to get lit up at all. I like the 14 to 13 games a little bit more. I like, having that running game, pound it, long drives games, but there's going to be games that it's not going to happen. It's just the way the NFL rolls. And what's good about that, though, is we do have the ability on offense to light teams up if we need to. If Matthew Stafford needs to throw that ball, he can throw that ball if Darrell Bevell needs to do so. Now, if our defense is having struggles, we could revert to doing what I absolutely think is inevitable to win games and win games in the postseason, is have long, sustained offensive running drives where you do the 12-play, 7-minute drives. And that's another way to defeat those high-powered offenses like a Patrick Mahomes, and to defeat players like Aaron Rodgers and a Drew Brees. So if we can do these long, sustained drives, keep those players on the sidelines, that's how you win football games, folks. That's how you win. And that'll help our defense out. We need Snacks on the field. Him and Flowers will build a camaraderie with each other. I do believe Snacks will be on the field. I know that's a big worrisome, but again, we'll find out in 2 weeks. But again, Snacks, I do believe he will be with us for sure. Again, he wanted a new contract with the Giants. To me, he is underpaid right now, and I would not mind him getting a contract extension. I like Snacks Harrison. I think he will be good for another 3 years, so why not give him extension, in my opinion? Mahomes will regress this year. He very well may regress because he did 50 touchdowns last year with the same amount of passing yards, I think 5,000. So if he regresses, it's just normal. It's not that big of a deal. Again, it's life, folks. I mean, you can't do 50 touchdowns every year. It's impossible. I think Stafford goes past 4,000 yards this year. I think I'm going to give him 35 touchdowns, 4,000 yards when it comes to Matthew Stafford. When it comes to our running game, I'm going to give Kerryon Johnson 11. I'm going to do 1,100 yards for Kerryon Johnson. 1,100 yards. We get that 1,000-yard runner. I'm going to give Kenny Galladay. We'll do 1,150 yards for Kenny Galladay for receiving threat. So these are pretty good numbers on offense that I'm giving you guys, in my opinion. Them receivers cover Mahomes too much. Well, remember, their best receiver may be suspended as well when it comes to the Kansas City Chiefs when he plays Detroit. That's the guy that was heard to be breaking his kid's arm or not. We don't know if it's really occurred or not. I think the lawsuit was dropped. Well, we'll find out. If he's not playing, it's really going to hurt Patrick Mahomes because he's one of the best receivers in the game. Patriots lost to the Lions, and won the Super Bowl. Absolutely, absolutely, James Willis. You make a fantastic point, folks. We're gonna lose games this year. I don't believe we go 19-0. So we got to take our wins and losses, and we got to calm ourselves down a little bit. I know I get really angry when we lose a game because it affects my whole week. However, we're gonna win, in my opinion, 11 games. So if we lose one here and there, it's okay. I do believe we're going to make it to the playoffs. We win the NFC North. Again, just like James Willis said, the Patriots lost the game, and it was okay. It was great for us, and it did give us confidence that we can beat winning teams. So that garbage, that narrative is out of the window. We no longer can hear that Matthew Stafford can't beat winning teams. Blah 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 is gone. Okay, so we can move past that, and now we can say it's okay if we lose a game here and there. It's not a big deal. In my opinion, we probably lose the Denver game. We play Denver way late in the season at Mile High. I'm gonna chuck that up as a loss, and that's okay, folks. That's okay. I think if we lose the Eagles game or if we lose the Kansas City game, it's okay, fellas. It's not that big of a deal. I would prefer to win the Eagles game because they are NFC. Hopefully we can win majority NFC games and we win all home games and a couple road games. That would really help us out for sure. Have you ever looked at Stafford's stats when he had 100 yards backing him? I think Stafford's going to be 47 yards, 42 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. Chris, I truly hope that is the stat that we have. I truly, truly hope that would be really great. I think it's possible to get a little below that because I think we're going to run a lot too. I think there's going to be games where we're going to really run a lot, and that will make Stafford's numbers a little bit down, but not that much down because you're right. If you have a running game, the passing game works, especially with play action with Darrell Bevell. He does the long play action passes, man. He does those 40-yard bombs, and that will really help Matthew Stafford's numbers. And I think our running game numbers are going to be well because we are not going to be coming from behind like we've done in years past. It's going to be more, we're going to sustain long drives and win in the fourth quarter by running. Kansas City is not as strong as they were last year. Yeah, they're not as strong as last year. Completely agree with you. What up, though, Matthew Huntley? So all the teams we beat us after we lost Tate and Marvin. And look, yeah, we lost playmakers, but we are much better this year. It's night and day when it comes to even the beginning of the season when we had playmakers. It's night and day because our offensive coordinator that we had, KFC, is gone. So having a great OC like DB is going to make me happy for sure. I can't wait, folks. I cannot wait. If it's anything like Pat's, they start slow and run and collider in the second half of the season. Absolutely, you make great, fantastic point, Matthew Huntley. I've talked about this before. We probably will start slow knowing that the offensive scheme system, the offensive players are learning it. So it's going to start a little bit slow. But as long as you pick up, and you beat teams by the end of the year, you keep that sustain, you get a playoff game, you win in the playoff game, and you go on. That's how winning teams do it. And that's how we're going to do it. In my opinion, that's how we're going to do it. Over or Lions under 10-6? I said the Lions will go 11 wins this year. They will go 11-5 in my opinion. So I would take the over on that. If you are a betting man in Vegas, I think they have us 7. So definitely vote in Vegas if you do that because we're going to have a really good year. I think we go 11 wins. Yu-Gi-Oh! Rex, late but here. That's okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! That's absolutely okay. I wanted to do a quick live stream with you guys and show you my new setup going on. This is what it looks like. Again, we will be losing Hangouts, and so I wanted to have a setup for you guys so I can always live stream. I built a new round table live stream Hangouts. I can show you really quick since you weren't here. That is a backup to a program. We are trying to get a program that will be kind of like Hangouts, but a little bit better. And so if that works, great. But I built a layout just in case that does not work out. I would like to show you the layout right now. So this will be the layout if I got to switch up the writing and the colors. But this would be the Detroit Roundtable layout if our program that we are trying to do does not work. So it has everything here so we can live talk to you guys at the same time. It'll have all our pictures. I can switch out each person's picture. I can make it cooler. I can make it better. But that's kind of like the layout that I got going on if the program that we want does not work out. Hopefully it does, but if it doesn't, we do have a backup. So no matter what, folks, you will have a live stream of the roundtable. You will have live stream of me. You will have Subscriber Friday. And my new show that I will be starting will be about fantasy football with Micro Mike. So you will be getting all that. And fantasy football will be with any fan, whether it be in the NFL. It doesn't have to be Detroit Lions fans. We're talking fantasy football strictly. So, the defense was better by the end of the season. Yes, they were absolute. That's 100% true. They were a lot better, and we had a bad offense. So imagine having a great offense. That defense. I think we have a defense that's gonna scare the living hell out of teams. I think we could have a 2014 type defense, folks, where it's a top five defense, and with a good offense and a good defense and a good special teams, playoffs. The rough draft. Defense was better. Only reason why Chicago won was a few big plays over the secondary last year with the new D-line, and we got back there now. Yeah, our defense was better, and I think it's going to be even way better this year, specifically with the scheme under the veterans that were on last year. They understand it, plus the rookies that we picked up, and of course the phenomenal free agents that we got with Coleman and Flowers. Quarterbacks ain't got forever no more. Nope, not forever. We top 3 in quarterback hits. I believe we will be too. I believe that we will be top 5 in hits. I think we will have a lot of sacks. We did well with sacks. And we got Aquara. We got to think about Aquara. That guy had a ton of sacks with us, and we never talk about him. So we have a rotation of Aquara, Deshaun Hand, Flowers, because Flowers does play end as well as inside. We got Hand. We got Snacks. We got even... Oh, man, my God. We got... I'm sorry, I lost tongue there. But we got so much talent on the defensive line. It's sick. I'm not sold on the secondary. I am sold James Willis, and hopefully you'll be sold by week 1 because that secondary is going to be ridiculous. We lost Lawson, who was garbage, worst corner ever, and then we picked up Coleman, who is the best nickel cornerback. Then we picked up Rashawn Melvin, who has actually played really well for the Raiders, who will be our number 2. We got great, to me, really good safety combination with Diggs and Walker. And we picked up some people that's in the draft that's no scrub. We got my favorite cornerback in the 5th round, Amani. Just a great pickup, and he'll be utilized. Tease Tabor is starting to pick up more, so I think our secondary will be got. Yeah, Sean Robinson. I don't even know. Sometimes I have a tongue twister. Aquara was the bottom 3 in quarterback pressures, but he had a lot of sacks. Bryant's outside linebacker, and you got to see it. We put these positions in addition to what we got in Flowers. It's not like they're automatic starters. So you'll have positions that, okay, they know it's going to be a pass play. We're going to throw in Aquara to help get at the quarterback. All these players are not, it's not going to be on all 4 downs. They switch players out and put them in positions to succeed, and that's what we need. Bryant's outside linebacker going to be sick, absolutely. Davis will step up this year, especially with the defensive line help, and having another year understanding the system. Tease Tabor gave up perfect passing rating last year. He did buffed up, and before OTAs, I thought he was definitely done with this team. I didn't want him on the team at all, and I thought he was done. I thought for sure this guy was a terrible cornerback. However, he talked about how his mind was not in the game. He had his ego. He dropped his ego completely. He went into there saying, okay, I'm going to do the best that I can do and do whatever I can to make this team. In OTAs, he showed it by picking people off, by making a lot of good plays. And to me, if he can just take anything to better than what he was last year, and if he actually makes the team, that's better for us. That's just better for us, period. He'll be competing with Mike Ford, so that will be the competition at cornerback there. Great layout for the show. Just got to be here and agree. Top 10 on both sides of the ball. The red zone is going to be fire for Stafford. The D is going to be very scary with the linebackers. I'm with you, Joseph. Thank you so much for showing up. I truly appreciate that you guys like this setup. Folks, if you have not liked the video, please do so. I can actually see what's going on. Before, I had no idea. I had no idea what's going on. I would never see the likes. I would never see how many people were watching me. Even has my subscriber amount in there, and so I took a lot of time, and I'm very happy with the setup. I really appreciate that, guys. Folks, I've been on for about an hour already. I just wanted to do really a show up of what I got going on and just talk Lions football with you for a little bit and take my Sunday to give you guys some stuff. So, oops, sorry about the hit there. I'm really happy that everything worked out. And folks, I will be dropping a video tomorrow, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. If you guys want to give me an idea of a video to drop tomorrow, I will do that. If you have not seen my Stafford hype video, do so, man. That thing is fire to me. I spent a lot of time making that Matthew Stafford fire hype video for Detroit Lions. Give me ideas in comments. I'm about to get off here, folks. Give me ideas in comments for a video tomorrow. I will pick one of them. Whatever, guys, video you want me to do, I will pick it out, man. So I will do a video for you. So leave me some ideas, folks. Thank you so much for taking your time and watching this, guys. Have yourself a fantastic Sunday. Spend it with your family. Go outside and have a good one, folks. Adios.